It is pretty basic because I didn't want to overwhelm her. So, yeah, she's coming today, so I'm just hoping for some support and maybe some tips. Update 1. I posted a couple days ago that my daughter was coming to live with me. It has been a big adjustment for both my daughter and myself. I told her when I first picked her up that I know this is very new for both of us, so I understand it's going to take some time to adjust. She has been through a lot from what I can tell. She's very underweight and not used to having regular meals. I put a snack bin in her room so she hopefully doesn't feel the need to hide food, at least not food that isn't supposed to be left out. I told her she could get food from the kitchen whenever she wanted, but that seemed to overwhelm her, so now she has a snack bin. I also have breakfast and dinner, and lunch on weekends, at consistent times so she knows a meal is going to happen. She also has nightmares and screams. She hasn't told me what they're about, and I don't expect her to yet, but whatever it was traumatic for her. So I'm in the process of finding a therapist for her. For some more positive things, I got her to open up enough to find out some things about her. Firstly, she loves my dogs, and we took them on a walk together. She's smart and loves to read, and she likes to play basketball. I, of course, told her some things about myself. She's pretty quiet and reserved. I expected her to not be very open with me, considering I am a stranger to her, but things so far aren't too bad and are going relatively well. Update 2. It's been about 2 weeks now, and things have been going pretty well so far. Today, she was sitting in the kitchen doing homework, and once she finished, she started playing with my dogs but left a few papers out after putting the rest away. I asked what those were, and she said, "Oh, just some tests I had this week." I asked if I could see them, and she said sure. She had gotten A's on 3 tests, chemistry, history, and geometry, after being at the school for less than 2 weeks. I was honestly very impressed, not because I don't think she's smart, but because she just started at a new school and is undergoing a big life adjustment. I told her that was amazing and ended up going on about how at her age I didn't care about the school aspect of school, I just cared about sports and my friends. She said, "I enjoy learning and reading. It helps me get away from life." Then it hit me, it was her way of escaping from the presumably not good life with her mom and focusing her mind on something else like learning and reading. It honestly makes me really sad to think about. Update 3. Earlier, we went out to eat because I didn't feel like cooking, and I found out my daughter had never had tacos. So, we went out for tacos, and we were having a very casual conversation until a mother with her 2 young daughters came in. You could just tell the girls were having fun with their mom, and all 3 clearly loved each other. Well, my daughter got quiet and kept staring at them. I didn't want to pry, so I kept quiet. She didn't say anything until, randomly on the drive home, she said, "Sometimes it's hard seeing girls have a good relationship with their mom. I get jealous because my mom and I never did." Then she started crying and let me know she wanted to be left alone for the rest of the night. It was hard seeing her cry and be upset. It is also difficult to know that even though I'm now in my daughter's life and trying to be a good parent, she still spent the first 15 years of her life not having a good relationship with her mom. I can't fix that. I wish I could, but I can't, which sucks because she didn't deserve to be neglected and possibly abused. I'm just in my feelings and really sad for my daughter. Update 4. It has been a little over 2 months, and honestly, she gives me a hard time. I haven't yelled at her or anything like that, I understand she's been through a lot. We're both in therapy to help. Well, this whole week, she has been really rude and arguing with me. It has been very rough. During one of the arguments, she ended up telling me some very personal stuff. I'm not going to share details, but I will say she had a very rough start to life. I was trying my best to comfort her, as she seemed like she was having an episode of intense anxiety. We were just sitting in silence, and she said, "You know, you're pretty good at the whole dad thing for being a newbie." I laughed and said, "Thank you," and told her being her dad had been enjoyable. It was silent for a while, but then she said, "Thanks, Dad." That made my whole year, to be honest. I've been having a bit of happy tears. Update 5. Sorry it's been almost 3 months since I last posted. A little over a month ago, my daughter started feeling fatigued, losing weight, which sadly took a while for her to gain, and becoming pale. She just seemed unwell. I was worried and started taking her to the doctors. They were convinced it was just a bad cold going around, but it lasted way longer than any cold should. So I took her to other doctors, and one recently decided to run some tests. I honestly didn't know what could be wrong with her. At certain points, I figured I was a new dad and just over worrying about my daughter. Today we found out she has leukemia. This poor girl has had such a tough life already, and now this. I am pissed, I am upset, I am terrified. I've had family members go through chemo, so I know it's no easy task, and it'll be mentally hard on both of us. It will be extremely physically hard on my poor girl. She hasn't said much since we found out earlier this morning. I would just like you guys to send good vibes and messages and possibly advice if you have any. Update 6. A little over a month ago, my daughter was diagnosed with cancer, leukemia specifically. Life has not been fair at all to this poor girl. She has been doing inpatient chemo for almost a month now, and it's been rough. She's either quiet or verbally taking her anger out on me. I haven't said much about that because I understand she's angry. I mean, she's only 15, a sophomore in high school, and has been through so much. She's been doing virtual therapy sessions with her therapist and talking to people at the hospital as well. She's coming home in a few days. Hopefully, she'll be able to relax in her bed and see my dogs, which she loves dearly. It's been mentally draining for both of us, mostly her, I know. She lost most of the weight she was able to gain living with me, and even with anti-nausea meds, she just doesn't have an appetite right now. Chemo has made reading harder, and she refuses to listen to audiobooks, so she's grumpy about not reading since it's something that has always brought her comfort. It's clear she's upset and frustrated, which is understandable, and that's why I let her get upset with me. But I do let her know that what she says hurts me. I know she's a teenager who has been hurt her whole life and is now going through something extremely difficult. Update 7. Hi everyone, this is with permission from her. I'm posting a picture of my daughter coming home from a month of inpatient chemo. I'm the one who posts on here a lot about how I got my daughter, whom I didn't know about. My last post was about dealing with her new cancer diagnosis. She was super happy to be home, able to lay and sleep in her own bed, and see our dogs. I have been reading to her. We started the Divergent book series, which is actually really good. I've never read them before. Since being home, she has been in a better mood compared to being in the hospital, but chemo/cancer has still been mentally difficult for her. It's also been hard on me, not in the same way, of course, but just because I love her and hate seeing her go through this, especially after everything she's been through. She also tends to take her frustration out on me verbally, which is okay. I know this is hard on her. She's only 15 and has been through a lot. Anyway, just wanted to give a bit of an update on everything. Update 8. Hi everyone, it's been a while, like 2 months since I last posted. Just wanted to say that tomorrow starts a whole new chapter for my daughter. She's getting a stem cell transplant. It won't be easy, but if it goes well, it will do her so much good, and my daughter will finally be able to live the life she deserves. Today, she is getting spoiled by me and my whole family because, for a while, things are going to be really difficult for her. So please send good vibes and thoughts our way, and I also want to thank everyone for all the love and support we have received on here.